Welcome to episode 178 of the Thunder Underground podcast. Trent and Jason here as always, and hope everyone had a great 4th of July yesterday.
You damn sure better have.
Yeah, I know we did.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I'm positive of it.
Oh, man. I drank so many beers. I threw up so many times.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
You pulled a Kevin Graham and threw it up everywhere.
Oh, man.
I just called him out on the
podcast. Of my own
podcast.
puke.
We're being, what's the right word? Hopeful, I guess?
Facetious.
Yeah, facetious, because
There you go.
we're actually recording this right before July 4th, but...
Why'd you have to go fucking spoil it? God damn it.
I just figure the normal human being knows that.
Okay.
This shit isn't live, but...
Oh, fuck.
Usually July 4th turns out good, so I assume that July 4th,
Yeah,
2018
totally.
will be
Why
as
not?
well. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, this week we've got the band Gnarwolf here
Yes.
out of Austin, Texas. The entire band joined us for a chat. We're going to get to that here in a bit, talk a little about them. But before we do, we're going to play some music, and we're going to talk about a few other things.
Of course.
And we've kind of, between a couple of topics we got, the band Gnarwolf and the music we're going to play, we're kind of spanning the spectrum of all types of rock and roll here.
Why not?
Because that's what we love to do.
So it's about.
All right, before we get into all that stuff, we need to mention, as always, that we are sponsored by DEB Concerts and Vitz Screen Printing.
Definitely.
Yeah, Vitz Screen Printing out of Oklahoma City does screen printing, t-shirts, hoodies, caps, all that great stuff. They do a lot of stuff for bands in the Oklahoma area, but of course, they will do it for whatever you need. If you got a business or anything you want to get shirts made from, hit these guys up. Look them up at VITS Screen Printing on Facebook. Give them a follow, a like, so you have that there when you need shirts in the future.
Yeah. We
use them ourselves. That's why we're here to talk about it. Not only a fan, but I'm a client as well.
That's right.
You know,
kind of like Men's Warehouse or...
That's right.
Or the Hair Club for Men. Even though neither of us need the Hair Club for Men right now.
You don't think I do?
No, because you're fucking rocking that shit.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I might need it eventually, but whatever.
But yeah, like they do our t-shirts, so get on thethunderunderground.com, look at merch, and buy a t-shirt.
Of course.
We've got other stuff for sale on there as well. Also, DEB Concerts. Here in the Tulsa area, local promoter, headed up by Doug Burgess. Great dude. Very glad to have him sponsoring this podcast. And he's bringing in all kinds of bands that we grew up on and that we love still to this day. He's brought in tons of great stuff in the past. And here coming up shortly, like I'm talking next Friday night, July 13th, at the Ideal Ballroom, we've got Dokken making their return.
Hell yeah.
Just recently, here about 2 or 3 months ago, we had Chris McCarville, the bass player from Dokken, on this podcast. Very good episode to check out. That show has Doxy and Down for Five opened up.
Nice.
So then, following that, we've got Steelheart playing Safari Joe's H2O Water Park. That's a Thursday night here, July 26th in Tulsa. Cannot miss Steelheart. One of the best voices in the history of rock and roll.
It'll blow your dick in the dirt.
That it will. Hashtag Dick in the Dirt.
By God.
Shout out to Paulette. Hashtag Moist.
Oh my God.
Okay. 2 nights later.
CJ's going to be mad at you for that.
I think he's cool with it.
Shit.
She'll smooth him over for us.
Okay.
July 28th. Back at the Ideal Ballroom. Chuck Garrick, Calico Cooper, and their band Bisto Blanco.
Can't wait for this one.
Doxy. Is that right? Doxy and Drivers opening that one, right?
I think so.
Yeah. And that is absolutely free.
So you better fucking go.
Yeah, you got no excuse.
Fuckers.
You got no excuse. You don't have excuse anyway when it's not free, but I'm just saying, you have even less of an excuse now. August 18th, Faster Pussycat with Don Jameson and Dead Metal Society opening that bad boy. And then flash forward to November 3rd, recently announced Kix.
Holy fuck!
Didn't we just mention this like a month ago? Like, we wish Kix could play the Ideal?
And look what's happening.
Here it is. We're not taking credit. We're just saying we willed this into the universe.
Yes,
you know? Right?
Yeah. Next thing you know, Taiketo's going to be here, and I'm going to take a shit out of my dick.
Well, then we've got December 8th. Also, LA Guns was announced a while back, but recently it was announced that Junkard was added.
Fuck yeah.
So this is another band that I've I don't think you've ever seen either, have you?
No.
Neither one of us had the opportunity to ever see. They've always eluded me. So
Cross that off the list.
Super excited to finally see some Junkyard.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's going to be some more stuff announced here shortly. Looking forward to this. Can't wait. There you go. I said, I'm going to correct myself. I believe I said Down for Five is opening up for docking, but it's actually Rocket Science.
Okay.
Rocket Science and Doxy, and then
Gotcha.
Then the Bisto Blanco show is Down for Five with Driver.
I trust you.
Okay. Because I said that last time and Jana called me out.
As well she should.
That's right. Because I'm trying to go off the cuff and all this memorization crap, right?
Well, I couldn't even touch that, so you're doing good.
All right. All right. Well, once again, thank you to DB Concerts and Vit Screen Printing. So first up, what do we want to go with first? Should we get
it's up to you, man.
The Vinny thing out first here?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah,
And I'll say this is, Trent went with some of our friends. I did not go. So this is all Trent's account. I'm just going to hand it over to him.
Well, you can interject whatever you feel like.
Well, I'm just glad I'm just glad one of us got to go. I'm glad you got to go.
Right.
It was pretty heavy, a pretty important thing. So yeah, just let everyone know how it went.
Yeah. If you don't know, last week we had a tribute podcast of Vinnie Paul where we just did our tribute and then replayed our Pantera every album in a row. And this past weekend, they had Vinnie Paul's funeral was this past Saturday, and then the past Sunday was the public memorial we went down to Dallas, Texas. It was at the Bomb Factory.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I went with some friends. I went with our buddy Kevin Graham, who anyone that's listened to this podcast has heard his name countless times throughout the years.
Yes, you sure have.
Made many adventures with us. You've heard the name Chris Taylor many times because we talk about a lot of his stuff. Runs DMG Productions. He has a show on Rock Rage Radio every Saturday called Solon's Playlist. He also went with me. And then Jack Clinton and Shannon Palmer, both people that we've met through Rocklahoma and gotten to know. Very glad that all four of these people made the trip with me.
Definitely.
And it's just one of those things, like, going to a memorial service that it's not going to be fun, but, it's a good thing because there's lots of great stories or great...
Yes, you guys are together.
Yeah, remembrance.
Yes, definitely.
But in this case, it's going to be a little bit more uplifting than your standard memorial because a lot of times you go to a funeral or something and it's like everything's... Even though you're trying to celebrate someone's life, everything's still extremely, heartbreaking. But with Vinny, the way he lived his life, you knew that this was going to be a celebration as much as possible, and it really was. I mean, you got there, and for a couple hours between the doors open and when it actually started, there was music playing with a constant stream of photo slideshow on the screen.
Totally. And
for 2 hours, they didn't even start repeating pictures until like an hour and a half into it. And even then, there were new pictures coming in as well. And I mean, that's how many, because this guy, you see, well before he died, you'd see people all the time with Vinnie Paul because the guy was always a part of everything. And
well, one thing that, excuse me, I want to make sure you touch on. I mean, we talked about this the other day or yesterday, I think. And you went into pretty good detail, and I guess you could do that now. But I just want to make sure, make definitely sure that you cover the what Jose Mangan from SiriusXM said.
What? Oh, right.
Yeah, I really want to make sure you cover that.
Okay.
Because I really enjoyed that, and I think, yes, it's tongue-in-cheek, but it's actually, when you look at, who we're talking about and how it went, it's pretty funny, and, in a weird way, a little, heartwarming.
Right. Well, yeah, he was the second speaker, I think, or second or third, but the way it was formatted is, there was, several people in person, and then there was countless I couldn't even guess how many tons of videos that were sent in by artists, that sending a clip of them, whether it be 15, 20 seconds, and some were several minutes long of them talking about Vinnie Paul. And a few of them were ones that said, I tried to make it, but I couldn't. Even one from Jason Bittner, who's the drummer for Overkill, formerly of Shadows Fall.
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Yeah. He said he was at the airport, recording this at the airport in New York, and his flight was delayed on his way there. So I guess he was actually going to be a live speaker.
Yeah.
But yeah, when Jose got up there, that it doesn't matter who gets up there, how good of a speaker they are. Jose's going to be as good as them, if not better, at what he says, because this guy has more passion about heavy metal than anyone I've ever, seen in my life.
Totally.
And not only that, is he became a good friend of Vinnie Paul's, so for him to be able to do this and compose himself, is pretty admirable. And he spoke at the funeral the day before as well, which I had seen that on Instagram. But when he got here and he started talking, he said that he wanted to share that when he was at the funeral, he didn't know that he was going to speak there until about 5 minutes before.
He did.
He did, because they just came up to him and asked him, said, "We need you to speak if you can." And he said, "Okay." And he said it just kind of hit him in the gut, and his heart was racing. He was like trying to gather his thoughts and what to say and all that. And he said he got up there and kind of got lost in the moment. It's one of those things where you want to be respectful, but you also want to make people have a good time. And he said that he just blurted out without even thinking about it. Jerry Abbott, Vinny and Dimebag's dad, was sitting in the front row, and he says, "I just wanted to tell you, sir, that you have super magical sperm." And he said everybody there in the crowd, was laughing, and Jerry just kind of wasn't acknowledging it. And he said it kind of freaked him out for a second. He's like, "I can't believe I just said that at a funeral to the father of, the person whose funeral it is." And and then the lady next to him leaned over to him, which ended up being his sister, Vinny's aunt, and told him what he had said. He just didn't hear it in the moment. Mm-hmm. And he said he kind of laughed and pointed at him and mouthed, "Yeah, that's me."
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great, man. That's an awesome story.
But yeah, I mean, he went into more about what everybody knows about how great Vinny was, and that, whether it's this or anything, I want to praise that dude anytime I can, because he's like the greatest champion for this music, whether it be heavy metal or even hard rock, of the past of this century.
Oh, I agree.
Since the turn of the century, without a doubt.
I love Jose, and, aside from, all the bands that I would love to have on this show one day, he is like number one.
That's right.
Of one of the people I would love to have on this thing one day.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, just someone that exudes that much passion for not just what they do, but it's like you can tell this guy's a fan just like we are, and even probably a bigger fan than anybody
Totally.
And he's getting to live the dream of doing this for a living,
Yeah, exactly.
But there was other people like, Jericho came out after that. Dr. Rock, who's the DJ at Vinny's Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And, Jericho told some great stories, and he even mentioned, he's like, if you don't know why Vinny's always pointing at the camera when he takes a picture, it's because Vinny said when him and Dimebag were kids, every picture they saw of Elvis, he was pointing at the camera. And they said, well, if that's what the greatest rock and roll star in the world does, then that's what we're going to do.
If that's what the King did.
Yeah. Yep. And he said, and then they did it a lot of times, but not every time. But then once Dimebag died, Vinny said from that point on, he always pointed at the camera because that was his tribute to Dimebag as a tribute to Elvis.
Fuck yeah.
So Jericho said from now on.
I mean, how cool is that shit?
Well, Jericho said from now on, I'm pointing at the camera every time I take a picture.
Yeah.
As a tribute to Vinny, as a tribute to Dime, as a tribute to Elvis.
Hell yeah. That's right.
But let's see like Charlie from Anthrax came out there with Chris Adler, the two of them together.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about two of the best drummers in the world.
Yeah, that's drumming royalty in the metal world.
Charlie's the only person that, Vinny's drum set was there on the stage. He's the only person that got up there, got on it, sat down, and played for like 15, 30 seconds. And, he told a lot of great stories, and Chris Adler did as well. Yeah. And, something to point out, he mentioned, it was a little heartwarming, I guess. He said that Vinnie Paul was his favorite drummer growing up, and he would always seek him out anytime he got the chance to see Pantera, just to be able to talk to him or whatever. And he said by the time the Lamb of God, started touring and everything, and they would run across him. He said it flipped to where he didn't have to find him because Vinnie Paul would always find him. And he said, and then after Dimebag died, every time that they would cross paths and it was a Lamb of God show, Vinnie would come up to him and find him and ask him where Willie was. And he would say, well, wherever he's at. And they would make him go. He would go with him and make him go find him and then make him hug. He's like, since they still had the opportunity to hug his brother. Wow, man, that's fucking crazy, dude. Yeah. That makes me want to go hug my brother right now. Yeah. That's pretty heavy. You didn't tell me that the other day. That's cool. Yeah. That's really cool. But man, we had who else? Like a local DJ of the Eagle that, had known Vinny for like 25 years. She spoke I think she kind of hosted it because she spoke a few times. CJ Pierce and I'm drawing a blank on the drummer's name for Johnny Pool. Is it Jimmy something? Or God, I'm an asshole. But both of them spoke for a while. Yeah. And it was pretty heartfelt because they're from the Dallas scene. They knew him well. And then, like I said, countless videos, Zach Wilde, Rex Brown, had an audio clip. He wasn't on video. Phil, as everybody's seen in the news, had a really short clip, but it got the point across. And then, which I guess kind of surprised some people, but, hey, it is what it is. And I'm glad he did it. Sammy Hagar, exactly. Peter Criss, Bill Ward, Kid Rock, Randy Bly, Corey Taylor, all the heavyweights of metal and hard rock. The who's who. Yeah, and then, even, people we champion like Tommy Victor. And the best speech I thought of anyone recorded was probably Matt Cameron's. Yeah, I saw a headline of his speech. I haven't read it yet or watched it, but it's funny you said that because that's the only one I've seen. Really? Yeah, that's been featured. Yeah. Maybe that's why. I mean, it was several minutes long and he went into detail about, he's one of the only people that went into detail about drumming technique and how great he thought Vinny was. And then he talked a lot, just about how he said he's always been completely confident in Soundgarden, never was intimidated, especially during that period of 92. And he said the one show they played with Pantera. Look at that, they went on after him before Skid Row. And he said that he watched him from the side of the stage. And he said it was the tightest band he'd ever seen. And it's the only time he ever went on stage intimidated because Pantera blew Soundgarden away. Oh, wow. That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, we got out there at 10 in the morning, stood in line until 3:33 out in the hot ass sun, but it was worth it. You're a warrior. Yeah. That's awesome, man. I'm glad you got to go. Long ass line, tons of people. Everybody, of course, diehard Pantera fans, Hell Yeah fans. And you just kind of go down the row that went at least 3 blocks from what I could see. And they're down in Deep Ellum. Every 20 feet, someone would have a Bluetooth speaker or something, and you heard nothing except Pantera. Hell yeah. I didn't even hear a single Hell Yeah song. I think I heard Save Me once by Damage playing, come over someone's speaker, but the rest of the time it was nothing but Pantera. That's awesome. And people were amazing. We had some waters with us, but drank them all before we got out there. There was a guy and a lady walking up and down the street with ice chests full of water, just giving people water and Gatorade, not even charging. And then other people that had it would just hand you water, and local businesses you could walk over to and they'd just give you trays of water. That's fucking awesome. Yeah. So it's a great time, and the Bomb Factory is an amazing venue, like we've said before. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm glad I got to do it. Yes, I'm glad you got to go for sure. Definitely something, I think, like Chris said, something you'll remember forever. Definitely. I know Jack mentioned that too. It's not something you don't want to say, oh, this was great, but it's great that you were there, and it was great to be a part of it, and to be a part of it with good people as well, and to just, walk away from something like that, honoring someone that you truly loved as a fan, and then, being able to remember all these words that people said that you can share in your own life, with people you care about, right? Exactly. But all right, so you want to get some music going? Hell yeah. All right. Hell yeah, no pun intended. Did I just say that? Holy fuck. All right. Out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, we're going to play this right now. This is Dirty Rotten I'm Trouble. I'm Trouble, brand new single from Dirty Rotten out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, that features Dusty Robinson, who, if you're from the Tulsa area, you would surely recognize this guy because he's been the sound guy for Badass Renee's, Billy Renee's for quite a while, and now he's the sound guy for the Vanguard, and I believe he was with them a long time ago as well.
Okay.
So, he's got a brand new track out here. Very cool, lots of groove, lots of distortion and melody and
just hanging it all out there.
Yeah, mixing it up with, not really rap, but almost rap, and then some, distorted kind of industrial style vocals as well.
That'll work.
To bring it all together. So, very cool to hear this. It's on Dirty Rotten Music Inc. is the label that he's got as well. So look that up on Facebook. Give him a follow. You can find this song pretty much everywhere for 99 cents. So support this guy and support all kinds of music like this.
Can't beat that.
Exactly. All right. So now, like we said, we had that music. We had some Pantera talk, Vinnie Paul talk. Now we're going to switch another gear to the Night Flight Orchestra.
I mean, these guys have continuously had our top albums of the year whenever they put records out. I think one or two of them was our absolute top album of the year.
Right. But yeah, three albums that they put out have all three been on our list.
You goddamn right they have.
And this is number 4, and it will be on our list.
Oh, it'll.
Of 2018.
There's no fucking way it won't be on our list. Night Flight Orchestra, love these guys. If you don't know what's going on here, it's some guys from Soilwork, some guys from Arch Enemy, Swedish melodic death metal, come together in a side project to do like an AOR, late 70s, early 80s, classic rock vibe. Think Journey, think REO, think Night Ranger. I mean, and they do it perfectly. They do, I think in some ways they do it better than the originals.
Yeah.
But it's not like a tribute, but it's just, I don't know, you take it from here. You know what I mean? It's just, the things they're doing, it's super awesome.
It's like if Peter Cetera got in a car and turned on the radio and it was playing Little Lies by Fleetwood Mac.
Jesus Christ.
And then they were flying down the speedway and ran dead into the first album by Boston and completely, like, it caused an explosion.
I love this. And then at the funeral, they played Keep On Rolling by REO Speedwagon.
That's right.
I mean, goddamn, this is what we're fucking talking about, people. And these are guys from melodic death metal bands, okay? And they're putting this kind of, which is great, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I love all that
but
stuff.
But this is the diversity that I'm talking about that I love, because, as much as I love fucking Lamb of God, I fucking love Journey. So to have this kind of stuff is amazing, and to have a fourth album, and to have these guys keep doing it, and doing it at the level that they're, I mean, it's just, how are you not, this is my question to you listeners, how the fuck are you not listening to this band? There's no goddamn excuse. You can literally type it in Google, Night Flight Orchestra, and a whole world is opened up to you.
Speaking of world, sometimes the world ain't enough.
And yeah, I know, but this time it is, goddammit.
We didn't even say the name of the
album. Well, see, I got excited. I'm sorry, but shit.
Something I wanted to point out is what you mentioned, we're fortunate now we've got 4 albums here.
Yes.
When that first album came out, it's 2012 now, I think, or 13. It might have been 13 or 14. But anyway, when that came out, I was completely blown away just because Bjorn Strid, is one of my favorite metal singers. And then to hear him doing this completely just floored me because it was an homage to all the stuff I loved as well.
Totally.
But I'm sure we talked about this then. We're like, this is a magical fucking album. The first album. But
goddamn.
But this is likely going to be it,
And we still get,
we might get something else down the line if we're lucky, but here we sit 4 or 5 years later with 4 albums from these guys. It's they were putting as much attention on this as him and David Anderson put on Soilwork. And his, I forgot his name from Arch Enemy, puts in Arch Enemy.
Charlie. Yeah. Charlie D'Angelo.
Yeah,
I mean, how fucking lucky are we?
Yeah, I mean, they put full-born effort into those 2 bands because those are their bread and butter, and they tour the world on those acts. But anytime they have free time, they're making a new album.
Yeah.
And even playing shows, in Europe when they can with this band.
That's right.
And
I would love some U.S. shows.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? I'll admit this myself. I don't think we deserve them.
No.
Because the U.S., they don't know what the fuck they got. They're fucking stupid. They want to listen to Seether all day. So that's what the fuck you get.
They could come to Chicago and get 48 people in there, us being 2 of them that drove 9 hours.
Exactly.
And
so you know what? You fucking mouth-breathing fucks. You listen to your Seether. You listen to your fucking Chevelle and your 5-Figure Death Punch. That's what the fuck you fucking deserve. And drink your Bud Light. Fuck off.
All right.
Okay. Off my soapbox.
But to this album, something else I want to speak on is like, this sounds like what we know from Night Flight Orchestra, but it also sounds completely different in the span of what they were doing with that first album.
Yeah.
I mean, they already started transitioning on the last couple albums. Amber Galactic had a lot more AOR feel than the first album had, just a lot of classic rock feel to it.
Yep.
And now this one just completely goes into that vein to where it's like...
I mean, Lovers in the Rain.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's just that...
Which is so
like
good, don't get me wrong.
You know?
But yeah, totally.
Do you remember what you told me when you first listened to this album?
Probably not, but I bet you can tell me.
I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
You said that if this album was a person, it would be a substitute teacher at a night
that
school
guy. Yeah, no.
in Baltimore or something?
No, yeah, this would be on the East Coast. If this album were a person, it'd be that guy with like the comb over and the molester glasses and the sports jacket with the elbow patches.
That's right.
He'd be like a night school teacher.
Night school substitute teacher. And driving a Datsun hatchback. In the inner city of Baltimore.
In the inner city, yes. He definitely loves Welcome Back, Kotter. That's what this is.
But man, this album, it has songs like Paralyzed that sound like almost disco-ish.
Yes.
And then you've got the stuff, like you said, Lovers in the Rain, which is just straight up mid-tempo AOR stuff. And then but then there's amazing stuff like the first song, This Time, just sounds like the classic vein that these guys have been putting out for 4 albums now. And then you've got
Moments of Thunder.
Yeah, Moments of Thunder is probably my favorite.
That tune.
That's probably my favorite song on the album. And then Speedwagon and Barcelona, Winged and Serpentine. Those 4 are classic. I mean, this album, I thought this is one of those bands that I think they're not ever going to top themselves, but somehow
they do.
Every album, I don't know if they're topping themselves, but they're putting out something as equal as what they previously did.
Yes, sir.
And this might be my favorite one of the 4 since the first album. As much as I love the second, third one. I don't know. I mean, just after listening to it several times, I'm starting to feel that way.
Ballsy move, Trent.
Hey, I don't know.
Hey, I mean, this is good. I mean, I like it so far. I like it better than the last one. So maybe I'm on the board with you there a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I get that maybe.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, like you said, if you haven't listened to this, get on Google, get on Spotify, and just type the Night Flight Orchestra in.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully you listen to this album, but you don't have to. Just hit play on the first song you hear. It's going to give you an idea of what you're going to get.
Yep. First off, you're going to hit play, and then you're going to hit send message to us, and you're like, thank you.
Yeah. Or we'll give you our address, and you can send us an actual thank you card like Jesse James Dupree did.
Yes, exactly. And we're going to be like, you're welcome. Be a Patreon.
Right. So maybe after this little speech we had here, Jason Carroll will finally get his ass on board.
He fucking needs to. Jesus.
He told me a couple weeks ago, he's like, I'm trying. I just not really into it. And I'm like, I don't know what's wrong
with
you.
What the fuck?
Because normally you're into everything that's right.
Fucking shit. I know.
All right. Well, what now? Street Dogs?
I think so.
So here, taking another completely 180 turn, going into some Boston punk. Stand for Something or Die for Nothing came out almost 2 weeks ago now.
Yes, sir.
We've been meaning to talk about it, but with the Vinnie Paul episode, I had to push it back a week.
Yeah.
We are both admittedly big fans of this band, and I know you're even bigger than me, but
I think this
always championed punk. But this band, for me, is the one of any newer punk band that I put them above everybody.
This is one of those punk bands that you and I mutually agree on that we love. And I'm so glad that they put out a full-length release. They haven't in a while, which... that's fine. They've done some splits. They've done some EPs, whatever.
Yeah, you kind of thought for a while it might not happen because they had
and they all went
on a hiatus.
They all live in different places and they all have careers. Johnny Rio is a badass fucking barber. Mike McColgan is a fucking 911 dispatcher in Boston. And you know what? That comes first, and I get that. So to have them they got Century Media behind them. They have a full-length release now, Stand for Something or Die for Nothing. And not only that, but it's a solid fucking legit fucking, a stand-up fucking record. So I'm really happy.
Absolutely. When the first couple songs were released, I liked them, but I thought, well, this is good. It's just good, solid punk from a great punk band. But it didn't knock me on my ass the way I was hoping it would.
Yeah.
But then once the album came out and I heard this thing as a whole, it knocked me on my ass like I hoped it would.
Well, see, I think what you're hearing is, I think, I mean, fuck me, whatever. I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong. I think you're hearing some guys getting a little older. I think you're hearing some guys go in the way of Social Distortion, maybe getting a little more rootsier.
Right.
But we're still a ways from that. I think you're just starting to hear the beginnings of that.
Yeah.
Because there's still some pretty edgy punk stuff here. So, and that's something that we can chew on.
Well, just like getting into it, the first song that like completely grabbed me was Angels Calling.
Angels Calling is great.
And then after that, Lest We Forget and Working Class Heroes. All three of these are those are the three standouts to me. And then Mary on Believer Street.
Yeah, that was the one I was in. Mary on Believer Street is fucking amazing. It's almost like it was there. Maybe, I don't know nothing. I know Lenny Lashley was a huge, Malcolm Young fan.
Right.
And I don't know writing credits or nothing. I don't know anything. But this really seems like it could be their AC/DC tribute.
That's true.
Because a lot of those bands really dig AC/DC as well they should.
And well, in the way he's singing it, it almost sounds like an 80s rock song.
Yes.
You mentioned that to me before I even heard it.
True,
and I went straight to that one.
Yep.
Just to hear it before I even listened to the full album.
Oh, yeah, totally. These Ain't the Old Days, Lenny Lashley singing.
That's great, too.
Fucking amazing. We're standing tall like some real motherfuckers. I've been singing that all week long. I mean, it's just this is, I think, after some years of splits and EPs, you're going to come back with a full length. This is something to come back to.
That's right.
I really fucking enjoy it. And I've not seen these guys live since 2009. I hope I can see them again.
That's right. We saw them at the the Marquee.
The Marquee.
When it was called
And we have had Lenny Lashley on.
That's right.
The podcast when he was touring with Darkbuster, which is a complete honor. We did not get to see them live. I had to work super fucking early the next day. But, I mean, I really hope that we can check this band out this time around.
Yeah, hopefully, like you said, with Century Media behind them, they get a little more push of being able to tour more.
Yes.
And, because they will tour, they'll play shows, but they, like any of these bands, a lot of times they'll stick to the East or West Coast and, maybe do some festivals or something. But hopefully we can get some Midwest dates in here and get a chance to check them out again since it's been so long.
I hope so. I love the Street Dogs. I've seen them a million times, either on their own or opening for Flogging Molly or whoever.
Right.
Way back in the day. I mean,
Didn't we see them open for Social Distortion?
Yes, they opened for Social Distortion
like the first
once,
time.
And they opened for Flogging Molly once. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the first time I saw them, I think.
That was fucking amazing.
Right.
So I really hope I can see them again. It's good stuff.
But like Jason said, get on our previous stuff and look up the Lenny Lashley episode.
Yes, definitely.
Pretty cool stuff. Cool guy to talk to.
Yes, that guy is he's super experienced, super smart. It's a great episode.
Without a doubt. Okay, so we've had some punk, we've had some AOR.
That's what it's about, man. That's what it's fucking about.
Yeah, some Vinnie Paul, some Dirty Rotten, and now we're turning some gears again to some hardcore out of Texas.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Gnarwolf is a band out of Austin, Texas, like I said. Hardcore band. And when I say hardcore, I mean fucking real hardcore. Not, that generic hardcore. These guys are fucking laying it out. Just Google them. I mean, just get on their Facebook and look at a fucking video. This is what you expect from a band like this,
Yeah.
They play live and they fucking lay it out there. And
puke and all.
Yeah, that's right. You'll hear about that here in just a bit. But they're starting this tour. The Kiss My D tour actually starts, if you're hearing this Thursday, it starts tonight or tomorrow night. And then the third show, I think, is here in Tulsa this Saturday night, July 7th at Badass Renee's with Covina. So get out there. I believe the Decomposed, maybe? No, I don't want to say that. There's a local band on the bill, but I should have looked that up. I'll come back after this. After this interview airs here right now. When it ends in like 20 minutes, you'll hear me tell you who's actually playing.
Gotcha.
But anyway, if you're in the Tulsa area, check him out. If you're anywhere else in the country, this tour is going across the Midwest and the East Coast, back down. So it even goes down to Florida. So there's somewhere you can check these guys out. So get on Facebook and look up Gnarwolf. That's GNARWOLF. In the meantime, while you're doing that, look us up on Facebook as well. Follow us. If you're listening to us on iTunes or YouTube or Google or whatever, click subscribe or click follow. If you're same thing with SoundCloud, click like on this. Leave a comment about any of this podcast. We'd appreciate it. Look us up at thethunderunderground.com and all that great stuff.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get into this. Here is all 4 members of Gnarwolf. So what instrument does the dog play?
He's our merch guy.
He actually plays everything. He writes everything. he is the Gnarwolf.
Yeah, he's the Gnarwolf.
He's the chief songwriter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hit maker.
Right.
All right.
So you guys are heading to the Rail Club in Fort Worth tonight?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like, are you in Austin right now, so you're heading out right after this, or what?
Shortly, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
Five.
That's the plan.
Have you guys played there before?
No.
Not at the Rail Club. We played in Fort Worth, though.
Yeah.
Is this the last show you got up until the Kiss My D tour?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, talk about that. Like, you guys toured with Covina before, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we did a Texas tour last year with those guys. There's like 9 of us in a 15-passenger van. It was great. Yeah.
Sure, didn't smell bad at all.
No, not at all. Yeah. Smelled like roses. You know how it goes.
Was that what you guys are doing this time again? All jumping in the van?
Oh.
No, not this time. Not for 2 weeks across the U.S. They got a van, and then we've got our bus, our Magic Gnar bus. We're taking out. Jesus.
Not nuts.
Well, were you guys looking forward to hitting on this tour that you haven't before?
We haven't hit any of these places before besides the Texas dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be our first time outside of Texas, so
Okay.
looking forward to everything.
Looking forward to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good answer. So talk about the EP2, your second EP that came out here a while back. I noticed, like song title wise and lyric wise, it seems like there's kind of a theme throughout this. Like, is that a concept, or does each song kind of stand on its own?
It has nothing to do with anything. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's a concept. Essentially, it's just about a haunted Texas town back in the day with all these weird characters and situations going on. Like you've got a werewolf and some vampires and a seductress cannibal and then a serial killer, some zombie ghost things, stuff like that. Very macabre.
Was it based off of anything particular, or is it just something you came up with on your own?
It's just some random things that came up all in my head.
Nice.
All in his head.
That's where it's at.
Yep. All the weird stuff comes out.
So, was this self-recorded, or did you guys have anybody produce, or how did that come about?
We didn't have a producer per se. We, I guess, still produced, but there's some guys here in town that have. I guess they don't have their own recording studio, but they use a.
Shout out Jeremy.
They use some studio kind of up in the hills here in Austin, and they tracked us and recorded us, and then we sent it off to a buddy of ours to mix and master. So it wasn't done in-house per se. Like, we didn't record it in our garage or anything.
Gotcha.
Like, how do you guys write? Are you obviously you write all the lyrics and the concept and everything? How does the music come about?
Guys, but usually it's just me and Steven, just fucking around on stuff. I mean, we'll just try anything. If someone comes up with it, we'll try it. Our motto is, we'll try it. If it doesn't work, we'll try something else.
It's great fun.
Was it a lot of one of you guys bringing in riffs or that kind of thing, or do you guys sit down together and do it? Or just jam?
Yeah.
Random.
Kind of both. Like, mainly trying to like have riff ideas, and then he'll sit down with Steven and kind of work some stuff out, and then me and Marco will come in and like give our 2 cents, and like he'll throw bass lines on it.
Then it'll get polarized.
Yeah, it'll get polarized.
I drop the balls on the music.
Yeah, that's what polarization means.
Dropping balls on
our tracks.
Just teabagging riffs.
Yeah.
Historically, hardcore songs are fairly short, and both your EPs are pretty short. So if you guys are doing a longer show, how do you fill out the time?
We do a bunch of songs.
Yeah.
Like, a lot. I think our new sets are like
9 or 10 songs.
Yeah, 9 or 10 songs.
Oh, okay.
And we'll cut like a 30-minute set with that.
I feel like 25.
25, 30, something like that. We can always like throw a song or two, like if we need to fill time, or take some out if we need to drop some time or whatever. But yeah, and we have a lot of fun on stage, so it kind of takes up the time too.
Well, yeah, it's another thing I noticed on looking at some of your videos and pictures and stuff. The live shows are pretty
boring.
No, pretty frenetic, and all 4 of you guys are pretty active. Is that something that just came naturally to all of you, or is it something you decided to do, or how'd that come about? Is it just the music that pushes you to that point?
The music definitely facilitates it. But we just all like having fun and moving, and we can't stand watching bands and just kind of stand there and are kind of boring.
Right.
So, and I don't know, we just like being free on stage, just being able to go nuts and not really having any cares about what anybody thinks. It's just, this is what we do, this is what we bring. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't, whatever.
Yeah. Anyone's ever caught a headstock in the face or anything like that so far?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Really? Not. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, he's caught his own headstock.
Yeah.
I've gotten poked in the back a few times by guitars.
Yeah.
I got elbowed in the eye.
Oh yeah, I accidentally elbowed this guy in the eye when I jumped in the drum set.
I think one show, Andy tackled this guy.
Yeah.
He plays drums.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've done it more than once.
Any like falling down or wiping out, that kind of thing?
Oh yeah. I fall down probably at least 3 times a set. A show.
This guy's puked like 3 times.
Puked on stage, you said?
One time I puked on stage.
Yeah. But he kept playing.
But I kept playing.
He kept playing.
That's what counts. That's what counts. Was it like, Were you sick, or was it like alcohol induced, or?
It was definitely alcohol.
Yeah.
Last
It was like I was drinking the whole day and I didn't eat anything.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And the whole thing, I knew something was wrong because he wasn't moving. He was just standing there. And then the last song, he decides to start moving, and I guess it was a bad idea. So he sat down on the drum riser and kept playing, but started throwing up.
Wow.
Hey, we've all been there. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Was there any cell phones recording that one you know of?
Oh, there's a video out there.
Oh wow.
Well, and the other thing about that is other couple you up front making sure you don't step in that and wipe yourself out as well.
Yeah. No, everybody, like the other bands in the venue, was pretty cool about it.
Yeah, I don't even remember. So
And obviously,
like after that.
but yeah, all the other bands were like, how are we gonna follow that up? Like, just get up the stage or what?
Yeah, that was a headliner.
I noticed in a song like Hector the Foreigner, you've got some clean vocals just in one part of it. Like, how do you decide when you want to add that element to the song?
I don't know. It's just kind of like when it feels right. I have some clean vocals on
The first song.
the first song. What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know the songs by the
By
numbers. Yeah, we don't ever really use them. But yeah, Hector the Foreigner, it was just like that kind of clean part. And so I was like, throw some stuff on there. I know it's not the most polished thing in the world, but at the same time, I'm not just fucking Bieber, and I'm glad I'm not.
Yeah.
Dude,
Come on, dude.
Andy
Just
Bieber.
Sleepy on it, dude.
My heart will go. And then, yeah, the first song, there's some kind of clean vocals in the beginning. And those are meant to be a little dirtier, clean vocals. So if I do sound like shit, that's the point.
Well, going back before this, have you guys always been in hardcore bands, or you've done other stuff before this?
I
Yeah.
think we've all done other stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done some metalcore stuff. I think these guys have done hardcore stuff.
These guys did jazz.
I think Steven did some polka, some jazz, some fusion. Whatever you think of, done it.
Yeah, he's pretty much played everything.
Except country. Nobody wants.
No.
That's different.
I'll play the washboard any day.
That's a real instrument.
The first washboard in hardcore?
Yeah.
Hey, why not?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, sir.
Gotta make it innovative.
Yeah, true. So Austin is, always known for having a pretty vibrant music scene. Is it a decent place for hardcore?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like nowadays you got a lot of the beat down type stuff that's kind of taken over. Yeah, and it's like there's that, and there's like for lack of better words, like your butt rock metalcore type. Glam, like
Name a band, but don't say their name.
Oh, okay.
Say a word that's like it.
Gnarwolf.
Nardog. I don't know, just like the it's like simple
You're talking like radio rock, like radio metal?
Yeah. Like simple chuggy riffs with like your clean singing and every single chorus.
Yeah.
And clean bridges, stuff like that.
Like,
You before?
Asking Alexandra
Oh,
then.
God, no.
Oh yeah, I like that shit.
No.
You can like whatever you want. I just don't like it.
Like,
Well, both of our experience in Austin, we've been down there several times and been to a bunch of places, but it's always been on 6th Street.
Oh yeah.
Like, are there good places out of that area, like to see shows or for you guys to play, that kind of thing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's like 6th Street is kind of like the if you come from out of town or if you're like a college whatever, that's where you go. All the locals get real tired of 6th Street real quick.
Right.
Yeah, there's all kinds of bars and venues and stuff around.
What are some of the better places that you guys can play down there?
There's Come and Take It Live. There's a place called Texas Miss. There's Mohawk. They just recently closed. I like both this year. Sidewinders are pretty.
Because ears just poking up.
It sucks.
Yeah, a buddy of ours does some stuff in a brewery, independent brewery. He's very clean. So that's pretty cool. There's some decent DIY stuff here too. Like there's a t-shirt place that will throw some shows.
can't say their name, dude.
What is their name?
Fine Southern Gentlemen.
Fine Southern Gentlemen. That's right. I just wanted to say it a few times, so I made you say it.
And that's who's doing your t-shirts, right? I saw that on your Facebook.
Those guys are do our t-shirts.
You guys did some research.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Your mother's pen name is.
What are some other bands in Austin that you guys dig or that you guys have played shows with? Or
Bury the Rod.
Definitely Bury the Rod.
The Vinus.
The Vinus.
Linus.
The Vinius. There's obviously Covina, who we're good buds with and tour with. There's Purifier. Those guys are rad.
They're real dope luck.
Yeah.
The Bear is pretty cool.
Bear Designs. Insurgents. So many now.
Mothman.
Ooh, Mothman. Yeah. Mothman.
Man.
Mothman. Moth.
Man Moth.
Man Moth.
That's it.
Yeah. There's a lot of bands that kind of, Chernobyl the Secret. Still don't know the secret.
One of these days.
Think of some other.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Nominee is pretty good.
Oh yeah.
They're like pop punk, but they're pretty rad. But yeah.
well, this is kind of an obvious question, but outside of asking Alexandra, what's some other big influences on you guys?
Britney Spears. Definitely Pink. Oh hell yeah. A lot of Pink. Some Christina Aguilera.
Yeah.
Well, you got to go with the greats.
Yeah. Queen Latifah.
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. Some what's that? Guy Antwoord. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're kind of weird.
Yeah.
How much of that?
You want to know?
They're just weird.
Yeah, you-
It's like they're like
It's like a
South African like
rap duo.
club
Oh.
duo. Have you heard that song? I think you're freaky and I like you a lot. I think you're freaky and I like you a lot. Some stuff. Yeah. They're kind of fun though. They're kind of fun because they're weird. Every Time I Die.
Yeah, but in all seriousness,
In all seriousness,
As
Marvin Gaye was
Yeah.
serious.
Marvin Gaye is very serious.
Every Time I Die,
The Chariot, Norma Jean,
Norma Jean,
Number 12 looks like you. Fear Before,
Fear Before,
Heavy Low Low,
Duck Duck Goose.
Duck Duck Goose, Steve Smith's Cowboy. What's that? what's that band that we like from Oregon?
Oh, steak sauce mustache.
Yeah.
It's a great name.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You guys should definitely check them out.
Yeah.
That is one of the coolest names I've ever heard. For real.
And they're cool to boot.
You know, tour with them one day.
Yeah. Well, one day.
One day. It will happen.
Will happen.
Well, we appreciate you guys' time. Like, looking forward, you guys coming to Tulsa, and good luck on the rest of this tour as well.
Thank
Are
you.
you guys going to come to the show?
Yeah, definitely. I love Badass Renee's. It's a great place. See your
Nice.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll like it. And it always sounds good, so it's going to be good.
Awesome. Well,
But yeah,
hopefully
we will
people
we will definitely promote it for sure.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, no problem.
There you go, Gnarwolf. Thank you to all four of them for taking the time out of their day to do that. Thanks for reaching out to us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, very glad to have them on, as well as their little dog as well.
Of course.
I forgot the name. Sorry. But the fifth member
Of
Yeah.
course.
of Gnarwolf is the Gnar dog.
Gnar dog.
I was waiting for that. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, check them out this Saturday night in the Tulsa area at Badass Renee's. And like I said, I would come back with correct information. It is, of course, them and Covina on the Kiss My D tour, and Violent Victim is opening the show.
Brooks!
Yeah, that features our buddy Brax, who has been on this show as well.
Yes.
He is also now, this is something we haven't mentioned on
Fuck
the podcast.
yeah, we haven't really gone into this. Goddamn.
I mean, we need to like just go into detail about this on another episode maybe, but like we'll have Paulette actually on this podcast here in the next month or so.
Soon, yes.
So maybe that's a good time, but
Hashtag moist.
that's right. Hashtag moist. Brax is now officially the lead singer of the band Fist of Rage.
Nice.
Of course, we've championed this band many times throughout the years we've done this podcast. Big fans of them. Huge
Yes.
fans of Andy. Love the dude.
Love
But
Andy, but this shit happens.
He
so
made
whatever.
the choice to
Yes.
leave the
fine.
band, so I'm glad that they got someone that is
That's right.
not only an awesome human being, just like Andy, but also an awesome vocalist. And this dude's got one of those voices that can run the gamut of what,
Exactly.
and it's gonna like open up Fist of Rage to something different because you know Andy's fucking awesome, but his voice was in a certain spot, and Brax's is in a totally different spot. So we'll see
Yeah.
what comes of this, you know.
It is. Here, I'm gonna tell you something. And this goes for a lot of bands, and this should go for a lot of people around the whole goddamn planet. It is not our job to speculate. It is our job to support.
That's right.
So we are on board, and we support everybody. Brax, Fist, Andy. So let's just see what we can do.
That's right. So yeah, we'll be looking forward to seeing them live, and also, like we said, Paulette will be on this podcast here in the coming month to talk about the We Are Tulsa music show that is featuring like
Yes, which I can't wait for.
Do you remember how many
It's
artists were on that? I think
Like a fuck ton. It's gonna
think
be all
it's
day.
18 or 20
Um,
artists, each playing 2 or 3 songs, and everybody is
Yeah.
not playing their own music. They're playing cover songs of other bands from the Tulsa area.
Get your livers ready.
That's right.
I'm getting a room. Fuck it.
To get hashtag moist.
You know it.
Exactly.
It's all that matters. All that matters.
That is August 3rd at the Shrine. So be on the lookout for that as well. More to come from that. All right, if this is your first time listening, we appreciate it. If you're listening because you're a Gnarwolf fan, you love some hardcore, we also had on Brandon, the lead singer of the band American Standards a while back. Awesome band out of Arizona. Very cool guy. Loves The Simpsons as much as me. So can't not love that.
Totally.
We've had on tons of all kinds of people across the board. Like all the stuff we talked about earlier kind of spans the gamut. But if you like stuff heavy, we've had on guys from Death Angel, Seven Dust, Corrosion of Conformity, Overkill's former drummer, Sid Falk. We've had on guys from Megadeth, both Dave Elfson, Chris Broderick, formerly of Megadeth, who's now in active defiance.
Totally. Arsenio Hall,
That's right, episode 121,
Carrot Top,
episode 123.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, whoever that is.
Whoever that is, that's from fucking Walking Dead.
We've had them all.
Yeah, that's true. Episode 181 will be Tiffany Thiessen.
This is how you know that Jason is drunk.
That's right.
And that's also how you know, because I spoke in the third person.
Right. Episode 181, Tiffany Amber Thiessen. It's going to be a sequel to the Jeffrey Dean Morgan episode, because why the fuck not?
Why not? Why not?
I would let Tiffany Thiessen do things to me that I would not let Jeffrey Dean Morgan do.
When are you going to have Dwight on?
Dwight from The Office?
No.
Rainn Wilson?
No, from The Walking Dead.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We could have, you know what? We should have all Dwights. Dwight Yoakam.
Dwight Eisenhower's son.
Yeah, Dwight Schrute, Dwight from Walking Dead. Fuck yeah.
Call up, you remember, Edge from wrestling?
Yes.
Dwight looks a lot like him, so we could just get him and act like he's Dwight.
Let's do it. Fuck it.
Play the Alter Bridge song, his intro music.
Why not?
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
# moist. But in reality, we've also had on Gene Simmons.
Fired from this podcast. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Goddamn, what we need to talk about? You motherfucker. Alpha Metallica.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk
about that.
Son of
a bitch.
Let's talk about that.
Don't hang up yet, people. Hang up. Did I just say that? Don't push stop yet.
We've talked about Alpha Metallica before because it's a cool podcast. It's been around right about a year now. Mm-hmm. And what this guy does, Tom Quee, is every single episode is just about a single Metallica song, and he is going in alphabetical order.
Alphabetical order.
And I just saw a post this week where he said he's about a year into it and he's a third of the way done. So it's about a 3-year project. And he's also, every few episodes he'll interject another episode. It's just kind of about a certain subject, whether it be Metallica guest appearances was a recent one, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, every Monday he does a song. But every week, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, he throws in like a supplemental thing.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. It seems like that's about the schedule.
And I know some of the early ones he did by himself, but as it catched on, now he's almost every week it seems like he's got someone with him, whether it be just a fan, a follower of the podcast, someone else that does the stuff like us, or like he's had on Clint and Ethan from Metal Up Your Podcast several times.
Yes.
Because they know as much about Metallica as anybody.
And we then love of course, that podcast, by the way.
That's right. And of course, Jason Wood knows as much about Metallica as anybody.
I don't know about that.
And he finally made his debut on Alpha Metallica.
I sure did.
This past week. Episode number 61 or 60?
I don't know.
I think it was 61.
I know that on all my socials, I've shared it. So
that's right. Thunder Underground tweeted it.
The Thunder Underground tweeted it. So, and just search Alpha Metallica, you'll see it.
Yeah, he's on all the platforms like us.
Tom Quee is a fucking master. He is a ninja at the English language. He knows his Metallica like no other motherfucker in the world. And this is just a delight to listen to. The whole, just from the letter A to H. And you got all the way to Z to go. It's just such a fun podcast to listen to.
Yeah, for someone to devote every episode to a single song, you got to know what you're talking about. So it can't just be like, well, this song's cool. I don't like this song. Whatever. You have to go into detail, and that's what he does, whether it be about lyrics, about the musicianship. Yeah. Something different than your normal song, something that sounds the same as another Metallica song, whatever.
And he doesn't fuck around, because I listened the fuck out of this song, and I had notes, and I did not fuck around, and he still had shit on me.
That's right.
So, Tom does not mess around. This is just a premier podcast to listen to if you're a Metallica fan.
We didn't even mention what song you did.
Oh yeah, I did Hate Train. See, that's how excited we are over this shit. But I helped him break down Hate Train from Beyond Magnetic. Kind of a deep cut. So there you go.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with that, Beyond Magnetic is a EP that came out after Death Magnetic with 4 tracks, right?
Yeah.
4 tracks that basically didn't make the cut, I guess, of Death Magnetic.
Yeah.
And Jason just did that one. And then here coming up in probably a month and a half or so, I'm going to be on there myself.
Yes. And what song are you going to be doing?
Wow, wow.
I Disappear.
Yeah, that fucking guitar riff.
I'm gone, man.
I'm going to be standing on the top of a cliff with fucking Tom Cruise and James Hetfield.
It's not
I've
too
got a
bad,
love-hate relationship with that song. That's why I picked it.
I do
Yeah.
too. I really do. I mean,
Because he sent us a list when we first told him
Yes,
when to be
that's
on
right.
of like songs he had available coming up, and
it was all H's or I's.
there was a
so,
few.
yeah.
There was a couple that I liked better than I Disappear, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna pick one that I'm not like super fond of. Just
So you can kind of
I
rib on
have
it a
to
little
listen
bit.
to it a bunch, and like
Yeah.
maybe it'll change my mind. Who knows?
Yep,
You know?
yep, totally.
But yeah, like Jay said, Google that or just search it on any of the platforms. Alphabetalica's everywhere. Tom Quee's got several other things he does. He did a Tom Waits podcast the same way, I think.
Yes.
Alphabetized.
He does a
He's
podcast
a
called
bat-
Battle Rap Resume,
Yeah.
where they just do kind of battle raps, and just check this guy out. He is on fire, really.
That's right. All right. Well, I mentioned a bunch of our previous stuff, and we've got all that stuff can be found at soundcloud.com/thunder-underground. Also, thethunderunderground.com. And we're on everything, like I said, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Google Music, iTunes. Follow us, like us on all that stuff. Get on patreon.com. Look us up there. Send us a few bucks a month. We'd really appreciate it. It helps keep this thing going.
Definitely.
And of course, once again, thank you to DEB Concerts and Vit Screen Printing for sponsoring this thing. And of course, like I said, thank you to Gnarwolf, and check them out on this tour they got coming up, the Kiss My D tour. Until next time.
And we'll have to have a drink while we're out there as well.
Hell yeah.
Just don't puke on the stage, dude.
Maybe too many.
Yeah.
Make sure he eats before. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a hot dog.
Thunder Underground, y'all.